I never thought my sister's wedding day would be the day I died.
Not literally.
But close enough, the kind of death where your old self gets ripped away, leaving a husk that breathes but doesn't feel. As the organ swelled with that godforsaken canon in D, I sat in the last row of St. Patrick's Cathedral, the air thick with lilies and hypocrisy, watching my fiancé's hand disappear up Emily's bridesmaid's skirt like it was just another Tuesday happy hour. And when that stranger, tall, shadowed, smelling like expensive scotch and regret, slid into the seat next to me and murmured, "Act like you're with me," I did. Because fuck it. Why not burn it all down starting right there? It was supposed to be Emily's perfect day. The one she'd been Instagram curating for months. My big sister. The golden child. The one who always landed on her feet while I scraped by in the shadows. We're New York Irish through and through, Catholic guilt baked into our bones. Family dinners at the old brownstone in Brooklyn where Dad would ramble about the Mets, and Mom would passive-aggressively refill your wine glass until you confessed your sins. Emily got the looks. The charm. The job at that flashy PR firm uptown where she schmoozed celebrities and closed deals over $20 martinis. I got the grit. Sophie Riley, 28. Slinging lattes at a Hell's Kitchen cafe by day and scraping together freelance graphic design gigs by night. Reliable Sophie. The one who covers for everyone else's messes. The betrayal hit like a subway train at rush hour. I'd flown in from my shoebox apartment in Queens. Ring on my finger, Tommy's proposal still fresh. That gaudy diamond he'd hawked his vintage Mustang for. We were 6 months in, talking babies and brownstones. But there I was, in my rented maid of honor dress that pinched at the ribs, scanning the crowd for Tommy's familiar slouch. He was late, as usual. Or so I thought. Then I spotted him. Back row. Opposite side. His gelled hair catching the light from the rose window. But he wasn't looking for me.
No.
His eyes were glued to Becca, Emily's college roommate. The one with the fake lashes and the laugh like shattering glass. Tommy's hand was on her thigh, inching higher, casual, as if he were adjusting his tie. Becca giggled, swatting him half-heartedly, but her body language screamed invitation. My stomach dropped, a free fall into ice water. I gripped the pew until my knuckles bleached white. This wasn't some drunken fling. This was premeditated.
Planned.
And Emily knew, had to know because she'd seated Becca right there. Prime real estate for Tommy's wandering paws. I wanted to scream, to storm the altar and flip the cake table. But that's not how we Rylas roll. We swallow it, smile through the venom, let it fester like an untreated wound. So, I sat, alone in a sea of coupled-up guests, the single label burning hotter than the votive candles flickering nearby. Whispers rippled, old aunties clucking about my predicament, cousins snapping pics for the family group chat. Poor Sophie. Always the bridesmaid.
Yeah. Literally.
That's when he appeared. The stranger. He didn't shuffle in like the rest, he glided, suit sharp enough to cut glass, face half hidden under the brim of a fedora that screamed old-school mobster in a city that ate irony for breakfast. Mid-40s. Maybe. With salt and pepper stubble and eyes like polished obsidian, cold, calculating. The kind that sized you up and filed you away in seconds. He dropped into the seat beside me without a word, crossing his legs so his knee brushed mine. I stiffened, ready to hiss, "Excuse you," but he leaned in, breath warm against my ear. "Act like you're with me," he said, voice a low rumble, like gravel under tires on the BQE. No question. No plea, just command. His arm draped the back of the pew, fingers inches from my shoulder, possessive in that effortless way rich guys pull off. I froze, heart hammering. Who the hell was this? Some Wall Street creep crashing for the open bar? A hitman moonlighting as a plus one? But as the priest droned on about eternal vows, I caught Tommy's glance our way, his face twisting from smug to sour in a heartbeat. Becca noticed too, her pout deepening. Emily, up front in her lace Vera Wang, shot a look back that could curdle milk. Screw them. I leaned into the stranger, letting my head tip against his shoulder, my hand finding his thigh under the hymnal. Fake it till you make it, right? His chuckle was soft, approving, vibrating through me like a secret shared. Good girl, he murmured. Name's Victor Hale. And you? Sophie Riley? You're about to make some very powerful people sweat. How did he know my name? My blood turned to sludge. The ceremony blurred, vows exchanged, rice tossed, flashbulbs popping like gunfire. Victor stayed glued to my side through the receiving line, his hand at the small of my back, introducing me as my date, with a wink that dared anyone to call bullshit. Emily's smile cracked when she air-kissed my cheek. Tommy's handshake lingered too long, his eyes darting to Victor like he was sizing up a rival shark. Who's the suit? He muttered later, during the cocktail hour in the cathedral's undercroft. All exposed brick and Edison bulbs. None of your business, I shot back, sipping champagne that tasted like battery acid. Victor hovered nearby, chatting up Dad about some phantom real estate deal in Tribeca. The man was a ghost, charming, elusive, dropping hints of boardrooms and backroom deals without ever committing to details. By the time we hit the reception at the plaza, crystal chandeliers dripping like stalactites, string quartet sawing at Pachelbel, I was hooked. Not romantically. That ship had long sailed into irretrievable breakdown waters. No. Victor was a lifeline, a mirror reflecting back the rage I'd buried under layers of family first. We danced, me in his arms, the skirt of my dress swirling like blood in water. Your sister's not who you think, he said, spinning me under the ballroom's vaulted ceiling. And Tommy? He's just the appetizer. I laughed it off, but his words burrowed, itching like a fresh tattoo. Turns out, Emily's fiancé, Derek, tech bro extraordinaire, founder of some AI startup valued at 9 figures, was the real poison. Victor knew things, whispers of embezzlement, affairs, a hidden run covered up with NDAs and lawyers on speed dial. You took the fall once, Victor said, his grip tightening. For her. Remember the car accident? Sophomore year. That DUI she pinned on you.
I did. God. Did I?
Emily, wild and wasted, wrapping her Beamer around a pole on the FDR. I'd claimed the wheel, lied to the cops, done community service in her stead. Family sticks together, right?
But now,
with Victor's intel dripping like slow poison, I saw the web, Emily and Derek's empire built on stolen code. Tommy feeding them insider tips from his finance gig, Becca the honey trap to keep suppliers sweet. And me, the loyal fool, signing off on falsified docs because M needs this. By midnight, as fireworks cracked over Central Park, Victor pulled me aside into a shadowed alcove off the ballroom. What if I told you there's a way to make them pay? Not courts, not cops, something
permanent.
His eyes gleamed, manic almost, and that's when he showed me the vial. Tiny, iridescent, tucked in his breast pocket like contraband. Neural transference serum, he called it. Experimental, black market. Cooked up in some Silicon Valley lab gone rogue. One drop each. And boom, body swap. Mine's intact. But shells exchanged. You in her skin, her in yours. Watch them crumble from the inside. It sounded insane. Like fanfic for the terminally online. But rage is a hell of a drug. And betrayal? That's the chaser. Why me? I asked, voice barely above the bass thump of the DJ's set. Because you're clean, Victor said. No dirt. No leverage. And because I owe your family nothing, but I hate cheats. Later, I'd learn his angle. Derek had tanked Victor's career years back, framing him for fraud to steal his patents. Revenge. Mutual addition. We did it in the bridal suite. Post-ceremony, haze lingering like cigar smoke. Emily passed out on the chaise, champagne flute dangling from limp fingers. Victor dosed her first needle prick, swift as a bee's sting. Then me, the burn racing up my vein like liquid fire. The world tilted, colors inverting, my scream echoing in a throat that wasn't mine. When I came to, staring at hands that weren't calloused from sketchpads and steamers, manicured, ringed with Derek's platinum band, I knew. I was Emily now. Or close enough. But Victor?
Gone.
Vanished like smoke, leaving a burner phone on the vanity with one text, play the part. Burn it down. That first night in Emily's body, her body, lithe and perfumed, curves I'd envied in stolen glances, was a violation. I stumbled to the mirror, tracing cheekbones sharper than my own, lips fuller, eyes a shade bluer from contacts. The wedding gown pooled at my feet like shed skin. Down the hall, in the guest suite, my old body, Emily inside, stirred under sedatives. Victor had slipped in. She looked wrecked, mascara streaked, vulnerable in a way Emily Riley never allowed herself to be. I rifled through her things first. The walk-in closet at the Plaza's honeymoon suite was a shrine to excess, Louboutins lined like soldiers, Birkins stacked like Jenga. But it was the safe, biometrically locked to her thumb, that spilled the guts. Documents, encrypted drives, photos that made my borrowed stomach churn. Emily and Derek's side hustle, siphoning funds from investors, laundering through shell companies Tommy fronted. And me, forged signatures on emails. My IP address routed through VPNs to make it look like I'd greenlit the fraud. If the feds came knocking and Victor hinted they would, I'd be the fall guy. Again. The phone buzzed. Tommy. Where are you, babe?
Einstrashed.
Need pickup? I typed back with shaking fingers, mimicking her emoji flourish. Suite 1408. Hurry. Deranged maid of honor passed out. Deranged.
Me.
He arrived reeking of bourbon and Becca's perfume. Eyes bloodshot.
Jesus. Em.
You good. He loomed, all 6'2", of entitled frat boy build. The same hands that had proposed to me now reaching for his wife's waist. I let him pull me close, bile rising as his lips brushed her neck. Wedding was a shit show. Sophie's on one, clinging to some rando. We gotta talk about her. Loose ends. Loose ends.
Me.
I played along, giggling like Emily, drawing out confessions over room service caviar. Tommy spilled the plan to frame me fully, pin the embezzlement so Emily and Derek could bolt to Dubai with the cash. Becca was in on it, promised a cut and a ring. My sister, my blood, had sold me out for a private jet lifestyle. By dawn, As Tommy snored beside me, I slipped out. My old body was stirring in the guest room. Emily's eyes fluttering open in my face. Panic hit her like a freight train, thrashing, screaming in a voice that was mine but laced with her venom. "What the fuck? Sophie? You bitch." I clamped a hand over her mouth. The sedative syringe Victor left glinting in the lamplight. "Sho."
Sis, I whispered.
Emily's honeyed tone twisting the knife. "Family first. Remember?" She bucked, but the drug took hold quick. As my eyelids drooped, I leaned in close. "This is payback. For the accident. For the lies. For Tommy." Her muffled sob was the sweetest sound, a crack in the porcelain facade. Day 2 in the skin, honeymoon in the Hamptons. Derek's Tesla hummed along Montauk Highway, windows down, salt air whipping my hair. He drove like he owned the road because he did, or thought he did, blasting some indie playlist that screamed, "I'm cultured but loaded." Emily's body felt foreign, lighter on my feet. But the sway of hips, the way necks turned, it was power. Weaponized allure. I tested it at a roadside clam shack, flirting with the bartender for intel on Derek's local dealings. Turns out, Victor wasn't bluffing. The feds were circling, tipped by an anonymous source. Guess who? Derek noticed the shift by sunset. As we walked the beach, dunes rolling like frozen waves under a bruised sky.
You're
Different.
Eminencia.
Quiet. Like when we first met. His hand in mine strong, veined from CrossFit, was the same one that had covered up killing a pedestrian 2 years back. Hit and run on the lie. Victim a homeless that no one claimed. Derek's lawyers buried it. Emily's PR spin turned it into donor fatigue for his foundation. I'd signed the NDA, thinking it was just another favor. I squeezed his fingers, channeling Emily's coquettish lilt. "Maybe I'm just tired of the game."
Babe.
We made love that night in the glass-walled beach house, mechanical, detached, every moan a lie. But in the dark, as his breaths evened, I whispered questions into his ear about the patents he'd stolen from Victor, the code poached from a rival startup. He mumbled half-answers, drunk on wine and ego. Enough to record on the burner phone, voice memos ticking like bombs. Back in the city, by Monday,
The real work began.
Emily's life was a gilded cage, meetings at Derek's Soho office. All glass and ping-pong tables masking the rot. I played the part, nodding through bored calls, signing docs that damned us deeper. But under the table, I emailed Victor's contacts, journalists at the Post, a SEC whistleblower line. Controversial? Hell yes. Leaking to the press meant dragging innocents down too, interns, low-level coders, but fuck collateral. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Mine was napalm. Emily, trapped in my body, was my wild card. I'd stashed her in my Queens apartment, zip-tied to the futon. Force-fed takeout via Emily's Insta-famous smoothie recipes. She'd bargain at first. "Sophie, please. It's me. We can fix this." Tears carving rivers down my freckled cheeks. But I saw the calculation. The way my eyes darted for weaknesses. By day 3, she broke. Spilling family skeletons, Dad's old mob ties, Mom's pill habit covered by Emily's gifts. And the big one, our mother's death wasn't cancer. Emily had dosed her meds. Accidental overdose to end the suffering. I'd held her hand at the funeral, never questioning the haste. Tainting my grief with her guilt? Unforgivable. I used it, Visited Dad at the brownstone. Emily's poise cracking his stoic shell. She told me
Pop.
about Mom. His face crumpled. Whiskey glass shattering on the linoleum. That night, he confronted Emily and me over dinner, roast beef and resentment, and she denied it. Of course. But the seed was planted, doubt festering like dry rot in the family foundation. The decisions got uglier. To bait Tommy, I arranged a girls' night at Becca's loft in Williamsburg. Exposed brick. Fairy lights. Bottles of rose chilling in a clawfoot tub. Becca, oblivious, hugged me tight. Sophie's been ghosting. That weirdo at the wedding. Total rebound vibes. We laughed. But mine was edged. A blade sheathed in silk. As the night wore on, wine loosening tongues, I steered talk to the scheme. Becca cracked first, giggling about the big score. Tommy arrived late, sheepish, pulling me onto the couch for a make-out that tasted like ash. I recorded it all, phones hidden in planters. Mics and earrings Victor had slipped me. But the controversy peaked when I slept with Tommy. Not for pleasure, God. No, but to shatter him. In Becca's guest room, under Egyptian cotton that smelled of lavender and lies, I let him think it was Emily begging for forgiveness. His confessions poured out mid-thrust, the frame job details, wire transfers, even a hit on Victor's reputation via deepfakes. I came away hollow, but armed. Leaks hit the wires by morning, anonymous drops to ProPublica, painting Derek's empire in shades of scarlet. The climax brewed in Derek's penthouse, skyline glittering like fool's gold through floor-to-ceiling windows. He'd pieced it together by then, my changes, the feds raiding the office at dawn. "Who the fuck are you?" he roared, slamming me against the marble island, Emily's slender frame bruising under his grip. I laughed, manic, tasting blood from a split lip. "Your worst nightmare, honey."
Sophie.
"The sister you buried alive." He lunged, but I was ready, Victor's self-defense crash course paying off in a knee to the groin, elbow to the throat. As he wheezed, I dosed him with the antidote vial, the swap reversing in a haze of vertigo. My body flooded back, aches and all, while Derek slumped, Emily's form convulsing as she reclaimed it. No, wait. The serum was one way for him, Victor's twist. Derek stayed trapped, mind in Emily's shell, her memories flooding him like sewage. Emily burst and then, freed by Tommy's sloppy rescue from Queens, my old body wild-eyed. Feral. "You," she shrieked, tackling me. We rolled, sisters at war, nails raking, teeth bared. Tommy pulled her off, but not before she spat the truth. "It was you?"
Sophie.
"Mom's pills, I saw you. You did it for the inheritance." The twist hit like a gut punch. Flashback, that night. Mom fading. Emily out cold from pills of her own. I'd adjusted the dose. Mercy in my madness, thinking it ended her pain. Emily had woken, seen, and twisted it, pinned the blame in her mind, justified every betrayal. "You stole her from me," she howled. But recordings didn't lie, her voice on tape, confessing to Derek about fixing Mom's script. Cops swarmed as sirens wailed up Fifth Avenue, leaks boomeranging, Derek's empire imploding in real time. Emily and Tommy cuffed, Derek, in her body, screaming incoherently about swaps and serums, written off as a breakdown. Victor appeared in the chaos, a ghost in the doorway, tipping detectives to the full ledger. In the end, it was tragic. Emily got 20 to life for fraud and manslaughter. Mom's death reframed as deliberate. Tommy flipped, testifying for a reduced sentence, but lost everything: job, freedom, the illusion of charm. Derek, committed, catatonic in a psych ward. Emily's beauty a cage for his shattered mind.
Me?
Cleared. The fall guy absolved, but hollowed out. Dad forgave, sort of over lukewarm deli coffee, but the brownstone felt haunted. Victor vanished again. His revenge sated, leaving me a shadowy contact and a warning. Power's a swap.
Kid.
Use it wisely. Was it justice? Or just another layer of hell? I walk Brooklyn now, sketching ghosts in coffee-stained notebooks, wondering if I'd do it again. Family's a bitch like that, binds you tighter than any serum. And in the quiet, when weddings bloom on social feeds, I hear his whisper, act like you're with me. Maybe I am. With the darkness. With myself. Waking up in Emily's body wasn't a dream. It was a goddamn occupation. The first full day, I spent it cataloging the invasion, every curve, every scar hidden under Spanx and surgeon's precision. A faint C-section line from that miscarriage she'd parlayed into sympathy points at work.
News to me.
Her perfume clung like accusation. Chanel no. 5. Mom's favorite. Weaponized. I showered 3 times, scrubbing until her skin pinked, but the alienness stuck. A psychic rash. The Plaza's continental breakfast arrived on a silver cart, croissants flaking like guilty confessions. Fresh squeezed OJ tart as regret. I ate alone, Emily's poise masking the tremor in my hands. The burner buzzed. Victor's doing? No doubt. Check the nightstand. Leverage. Tucked under lace panties was a thumb drive, labeled E&D_assets. Plugging it into her laptop, password, Emily rules. Because of course. Files bloomed. Spreadsheets of offshore accounts. Emails chaining Tommy to the fraud. One folder gutted me. Sophie_ert. Doctored chats. My voice, authorizing shady transfers. They planned to leak it post-honeymoon. Me the scapegoat while they jetted to the Caymans. Rage boiled. But strategy simmered it down. I dressed in Emily's armor. Pencil skirt hugging hips I'd kill for. Blouse silk soft against skin that hummed with borrowed vitality. Makeup tutorial from her browser history, winged liner sharp as intent. By 10 a.m., I was in a lift to Derek's office. Soho traffic a snarl of honks and entitlement. The receptionist cooed. Mrs.
Hale? Mr.
Hale's expecting you.
Hale.
Emily's new name. A noose disguised as legacy. Derek's corner suite overlooked the Hudson. All minimalist chic. Eames chairs. A Basquiat knockoff screaming, I'm woke but wealthy. He was on a call, pacing in chinos and a Henley that strained over biceps. Tech god casual. Ending with a curt handle it, he turned, smile flashing like a press photo.
Babe.
Rough night. His kiss landed on my cheek. Lingering.
Testing.
I played it cool, perching on his desk, crossing legs that drew his gaze. Peachy. Just thinking about loose ends. His brow furrowed, charm cracking. We bantered. Wedding anecdotes.
Infestor samose.
But I probed. Casual as a stiletto. That Victor guy, Sophie's date. Old flame of yours. Derek stiffened. Pouring scotch at 11 a.m. Ancient history.
Hater.
Stole my ideas back in the day. Lies layered thick. The drive had emails proving the theft was Derek's. Lunch was power kale at Sant Ambrius. Paparazzi snapping from across West Broadway. Emily's life was performance, laughing at Derek's jokes. Hand on his knee under the table. All while I memorized escape routes. Afternoon blurred. Board meeting where I nodded through AI pitches. My graphic design eyes spotting the plagiarized wireframes. One intern, wide-eyed kid named Raj, lingered post-meeting. Mrs.
Hale.
Loving the new neural project. Revolutionary. I smiled, slipping him my real number later. Call if things get weird. Back at the penthouse, Derek's. Pre-wedding gift, I unpacked more skeletons. Wine cellar stocked with 82 Bordeaux. But the real vintage was in the study safe, the hit-and-run file. Blurry dashcam stills. The victim's face a ghost, James Kowalski. 52. Gulf War vet down on luck. Derek's Tesla. 0-star safety rating. Plowing him on a rainy night. Witness statements buried. Payout to the family a pittance laundered as charity. Emily's signature on the check. My forged one on the NDA. I'd signed it blind. 6 months ago. During a family favor brunch. Just paperwork.
Soft.
For the greater good. Tears came then, hot. Foreign. Tracking mascara down Emily's flawless cheeks. Not for James, for the girl I'd been. The fixer who mistook loyalty for love. I called Victor's burner. Voicemail, gravel voice. Progress. I unloaded. Files. Feelings. The itch to swap back. Not yet, he rasped. Let it marinate. She's breaking in your skin. Emily was. Text from me. Her in my phone. Frantic at first. WTF is happening? Fix this. Then pleading. Sis.
Talk to me.
Mom would want us together. By evening. Venom. You always were jealous. Enjoy the downgrade. I didn't reply. Instead, I posted from her Insta. Sun-kissed selfie on the penthouse terrace. Caption. Happily ever after starts nowering wife life. Likes flooded. 10K in an hour. Power. Intoxicating. Night fell heavy. Derek late from investor drinks. I cooked. Emily's recipe app guiding me through seared scallops. A dish she'd claimed as fusion Irish. The burner lit up. Raj. Weird stuff here. Code logs tampered. Fed sniffing? I coached him. Screenshots. Timestamps. Seed planted. Derek stumbled in at midnight. Ty askew. Becca's lipstick faint on his collar. Out with the team, he slurred. I confronted soft. Emily's style. Tears weaponized. Is it her? Again? He crumbled. Apologies tumbling like loose change. Then the spill. Becca wasn't just side action. She managed discreet services, escorts for clients, NDAs for cover-ups. Tommy's in. Funneling funds. And Emily?
Queen Pin.
Greenlighting it all. She made me, he whined. Recording app open on the counter. Capturing every syllable. We fought. Words first. Then hands. He grabbed my wrist. Twisting, I need high. Years of self-defense from Queen Street's paying off. He reeled. Crashing into the island. Who are you? He gasped. I leaned in. Breath hot. The ghost you created. No swap reveal, not yet. Let paranoia fester. Sleep evaded. Emily's body restless in silk sheets that cost more than my rent. Dreams twisted. Mom's hospital bed. Pills scattering like confetti. The wedding. Victor's whisper echoing in a loop. Dawn broke gray. Rain sheeting the windows. I slipped out early. Subway to Queens, first time in this skin. The A trains rattle grounding me. My apartment, peeling paint. Futon sagging. The scent of yesterday's ramen. Emily and me, huddled in the corner. Zip ties frayed. Eyes hollowed in my face. Sophie, she croaked. Voice cracking on my name.
Please. This isn't you.
I crouched. Level. Then who is it?
Ain't
The sister, who lets me rot for her sins. She lunged, weak. Desperate, but I pinned her easy. This body's yoga-toned strength a cheat code. Tell me about Mom. Her laugh was bitter. My features twisting ugly. You did it.
I saw.
Crushing those extra morphine tabs. Whispering night-night. For the money. Right? Dads will split even. Until you helped her along. Liar.
Or was I?
Memory flickered. That night. Emily passed out in the hall. Bottle empty. Mom's pain. Endless. My hand on the 4-line. Adjusting. Mercy? Or greed whispering. The inheritance check $200K had paid my student loans. Seeded my freelance hustle. Guilt gnawed. But I shoved it down. Your lies got us here.
Confess on tape.
She did. Halting. Admitting the accident cover-up. The fraud nudges. But the mom twist? She doubled down. Eyes gleaming with my blue. Check the journal. Under the mattress. I did. Later, Mom scrawled entries. Blaming Emily's visits for the escalating doses. Emily. Sneaking extras to help sleep. OD the culprit. My mercy? Just clean up. Freed her partially, bathroom breaks. Takeout truce. Work with me, I said. Expose Derek. We swap back. She nodded. Scheming light in her eyes. Trust? Fragile as rice paper. Back in Manhattan. The web tightened. Raj's tips led to a coffee meet in Washington Square. Park benches slick with drizzle. Chess hustlers calling moves. They're deleting servers, he whispered. Hoodie shadowing acne-scarred cheeks. I slipped him cash, Emily's Amex. Limitless. Keep feeding me. From there. Drops to outlets. A blind item to page 6 about Tech Titan's dirty secrets. Full docs to Wired. Tommy called that afternoon. Voice oily.
Ain't
Sophie's gone AWOL. You see her? I purred yes. Suggested a meet. Neutral ground. The Dead Rabbit. Our old financial district haunt. All dark wood and Irish stew simmering regret. He arrived twitchy. Nursing a Guinness. What's with your sis? Wedding drama maxed her out. I slid into the booth. Emily's allure dialing up. She's fragile. Like me. Touch. Fingers on his. Electric with history. He leaned in. Confessions bubbling. We gotta cut her loose.
Eminencia.
Frame job set, her emails. Her logins. Clean slate for us.
Us.
Him and my sister. Plotting my ruin over pub grub. I recorded. Nodded. Even kissed him, brief. Searing, to seal the illusion. His groan was pathetic. Missed this. Later. Alone in the cab uptown. I purged, vomiting in the penthouse sink. Emily's body rebelling. Controversial? Betraying my betrayer with his own game. But mirrors don't lie. The woman staring back had fire in her eyes, mine. Finally. Victor's text came at dusk. Climax tomorrow. Antidote ready. But choose. Full swap or partial burn. Partial. Expose. Swap back. Fade to normalcy. Full. Keep the power. Let Emily rot in my skin forever. The decision loomed, dark as the gathering storm over the skyline. The partial burn tempted, swap back, watch from afar as the dominoes fell. But power's a siren, and Emily's life sang sweet venom, doors opening with a smile. Reservations magicked at Le Bernardin, the subtle deference from strangers mistaking poise for pedigree. By week 2, I was hooked, decisions sharpening like switchblades. Controversials started small, ghosting Dad's calls, letting voicemails pile with his gravelly, "Call your father, girl." Then bolder, diverting Emily's charity funds to James Kowalski's family. Anonymous wire from a Cayman shell. $50,000. A drop in the embezzled ocean. But his widow's thank you email, routed through Raj, hit like absolution. God bless the angel who remembered. Derek sensed the shift. Paranoia peeking over dinner at per se. Prefix torture. Each course a $300 indictment. "You're not you," he hissed. Fork stabbing foie gras. Acting like that barista bitch. I smiled. Slow. Emily's lips curving cruel. "Maybe I am. Ever think your wife's got layers?" He slapped the table. Wine sloshing crimson. Diners stared. I leaned in. Or maybe I'm the upgrade. That night. The first real fracture. He cornered me in the bedroom, hands pinning shoulders to the tufted headboard.
Talk. Now.
Struggle, his weight crushing, breath hot with fierce sweat. I bucked, knee connecting with groin, Victor's training again. He howled, rolling off. I bolted to the study, barricading with a Chippendale desk. Phone out. 911 whisper. Domestic disturbance. 5th and 59th. Cops arrived, siren silent. Elite response for penthouse complaints. Derek, red-faced in boxers, cuffed and Mirandized. "It's a misunderstanding," he barked. I played victim flawless, trembling lip. "He thinks I'm cheating with myself?" They released him dawn. But the Post ran it. Tech mogul's wedding night woes. Spin control failed. Investors pulled. Stock dipped 15%. Emily's PR firm, Irony, scrambled. But I vetoed pressers. Citing trauma. Victor chuckled via text. Chef's kiss. Next, Tommy. Baiting him was art. Texted from Emily's phone, "Miss you." Warehouse party. Becca's spot. Midnight. The loft in Bushwick. Industrial chic. Bass thumping through concrete floors. Bodies grinding under strobe lights. Becca greeted with hugs and shots. Tequila burning down this throat like truth serum. Sophie's vanished, she slurred. Fucking drama queen. I laughed. Matching her pace. Body loose from practice sway. Tommy arrived fashionably late. Eyes lighting on me like a lifeline. We danced close. Sweat slick, his hands mapping familiar territory now foreign.
Ink.
This mess. We end it. Corner booth. Bottle service flowing. He plotted aloud. Sophie's the key. Plant the drive at her place.
Tip the feds.
She's got priors, that old DUI.
Mike DUI.
Her crime. I nodded. Fingers tracing his jaw, intimate. Invasive. And us? After? His kiss was desperate. Crashing like waves on Jersey Shore rocks. We tumbled to a back room, velvet couch.
Door locked.
Sex was transaction. Moans mechanical. His thrusts a confessional. Love you.
Eminência.
Always. Lies. But the hidden cam in my necklace captured it all. Faces. Voices. The pillow talk where he detailed the frame. Timestamps matching my freelance logins. Forged chats with clients. Post-coital glow for him. Ash for me. I slipped out pre-dawn. Cab to Queens. Emily in my skin, pacing the apartment like a caged wolf. You reek of him, she snarled. Slumming it. I showered. Silent. Then played the tape. Her face, mine, drained colorless. Tommy's a snake. We cut him loose. I echoed. Toweling red hair that fell poker straight. You're done directing, but alliance formed. Fragile. Her intel on Derek's safe houses. My access to accounts. We plotted over cold pizza. Expose the hit and run. Freeze assets. She begged swap. I can't live as you. The stares. The pity. Controversy crested. I delayed the antidote. Testing her. Prove it. Call Dad. Confess the accident.
She did.
Voice breaking on my vocal cords. Dad's roar echoed through speaker. Emily, what the hell? Forgiveness?
No.
Disownment. Swift as a guillotine. You're no daughter of mine.
Click.
Emily crumpled. Sobbing in my arms, sisters tangled. Identities blurred. Was it pity? Or the first real bond we'd forged? In the forge of fire? The feds moved midweek. Raj's leaks blooming into warrants. Derek's office raided, cuffs on execs. Servers seized. He confronted me at the penthouse. Wild-eyed. Emily's ring glinting as he waved a gun. Pulled from a false drawer. Black market Beretta. You did this.
Bitch.
Time slowed. Barrel cold on my temple. His finger whitening. Swap? What the fuck is that? I talked. Calm. Victor's poise in Emily's timbre. It's over.
Derek.
James Kowalski's family knows.
Investors too.
Bluff partial. Full storm broke later. He cracked. Gun dropping. Tears streaming. It was an accident.
Fog.
Rain, he jumped out. Lies. But the breakdown was real. I called Victor. Now. He arrived phantom-like. Syringe in hand. Dose for Derek. Mine to Emily's body.
Permanent look.
As the swap hit. Derek's form. My old shell via proxy?
No.
Direct. Serum variant. Emily's essence yanked back. Derek's jammed in. Chaos. Emily reclaiming her skin. Convulsing on the rug. Derek and mine, stocky. Freckled, staring at hands that weren't his. Voice a baritone wail. What did you do? Cops burst in, my anonymous tip. Witnessing the meltdown. Derek, ranting about souls and serums. Hauled away raving. Emily, dazed in her form. Clutched me. Sophie. Thank you.
No.
The twist simmered. Unspoken. Her journal lie? Half-truth. Mom's entries detailed Emily's helps, but a footnote. My adjustment. The extra push. Dual guilt. Mirrored sins. We hugged. But my hand lingered on the antidote vial. Pocketed. Unoffered. Tommy's takedown was surgical. Leaked tape hit Gawker. Audio of pillow talk. Fraud blueprints. He surrendered at dawn. Suit rumpled. To a midtown precinct. Becca flipped first. Plea deal for immunity. Spilling on the escorts. It was all Emily's idea, she sobbed to prosecutors. My sister. Pale in custody, orange jumpsuit. During visitation. You set me up? I smiled. Through plexiglass. You taught me how. Victor's final meet. Dim booth at PJ. Clark's. Burgers greasy as goodbyes. You kept the power, he noted.
No judgment.
Twists on you now live as her? I hadn't swapped back. Emily's body fit. A glove of vengeance. Maybe. Or maybe I burn it all. He slid a card, for when you need another ghost. Then gone. The debate raged internal. Justice or jailbreak. Emily's trial loomed. Fraud. Manslaughter. Conspiracy.
Ide testifique.
Truth serum in my veins. But as I walked the high line at dusk, city pulse sinking with this heart stronger. Sure, I wondered, was revenge the hook? Or the noose? Trial prep was theater. Manhattan DA's office a hive of fluorescent buzz and bad coffee. Emily's arraignment, she in orange, me in Armani, her closet's finest, testifying as sister. Victim. Flashbolts popped like acne scars on the courthouse steps. Reporters shouting, Sophie, did she frame you too? I stonewalled. Emily's poise a shield. No comment. Justice will speak. Behind scenes, the swap's residue lingered. Emily, back in her skin, moved like a specter, jerky, as if Derek's echoes haunted her nerves. She wrote from Rikers. Please. Then threats. You stole my life. Mom would hate you. I burned them. Ashes in the Hudson. But doubt wormed. The journal's dual sins. Had I dosed Mom? Mercy killing in the witching hour. Emily's shadow blurring blame? Derek's commitment hearing was farce. Psych eval deeming him delusional. My body, Sophie Riley's, strapped to a gurney. Muttering about transpositions. Doctors prescribed Haldol. Family visits denied.
I watched via proxy.
A nurse pal greased with Emily's cash. His eyes, mine, pleaded through the glass. Fix it.
No fix.
Victor's serum. One-way street to hell. Tommy's plea. 10 years. White-collar wing at Otisville. Becca skated. Witness protection in Phoenix. Last seen boarding a flight with bleached hair and a fake tan. Clean getaway. But her Insta ghosted. Poetic. The climax crested at trial. Foley Square Courthouse, a coliseum of polished wood and perjured souls. Emily's defense. Battered golden girl. Manipulated by Derek. Prosecution painted queen pin. My testimony. The stand's spotlight hot. Jury eyes dissecting. She used me, I said, voice steady. Forged docs.
Pin crime.
Even Mom, pause. Theatrical. Gasps rippled. Emily's glare from the dock. Venom pure. Cross-exam. Her lawyer. Slick as a used car salesman. MS. Riley. Rumors of. Identity issues? Your sister's erratic behavior post-wedding.
Bait.
I leaned in. Emily's charm dialed lethal. Erratic? Like covering a hit and run? Or dosing our dying mother? Objection sustained. But seed planted. Jury murmured. Twist dropped recess. Leaked email chain. Emily to Derek. Sophie's perfect patsy. Handle Mom like the accident quiet. Forgery? No, her words. Authenticated. The courtroom erupted. Emily shrieked. Lunging at counsel table. Bailiff swarmed. Her facade shattering like cheap crystal. Guilty on all counts. Fraud. Conspiracy. Involuntary manslaughter upgraded to second-degree murder. Sentence. 25 to life. Upstate Women's at Bedford Hills. Aftermath. Media circus. Sister swap scandal? Headline screamed. But no takers on the sci-fi. Victor's cleanup. Deepfakes debunked. Witnesses silenced. I sold the penthouse. Proceeds to Kowalski's Kids Trust. Dad's brownstones sold too. He relocated to Florida. Golf and grudges. You're all I got left. Soft. He rasped over FaceTime, not knowing the shell. Or did he? A wink in his eye. Old mobster sharp. Ending?
Nota y dibau.
I kept Emily's body. Antidote flushed. Decision irreversible in the serum's alchemy. Sophie Riley. Original. Faded. Socials archived. Leases transferred. New Life, her PR firm. Rebranded ethical under my graphic eye. Dates? Sparse, a architect at a gallery opening. His touch tentative on this unfamiliar frame. Sex awkward. Identities clashing. But power lingered. The sway. The stare that commanded rooms. Controversy echoed. Was I monster or martyr? Forums debated. Reddit threads dissecting the swap sister. Therapists blogging ethical quagmires. I lurked. Anonymous. The ghost in the machine. Victor resurfaced once. Postcard from Vegas. Burn bright. Did I? Nights on the new Brooklyn walk-up balcony, view of the bridge. Lights winking like conspirators. I sketched futures. Novels of swapped souls. Revenge porn for the soul. Emily's last letter. Pre-transfer to Max, you won. But mirrors lie.
Sis.
Who stares back. Truth reversed, not her villain. But mine mirrored. Mom's death, our shared sin. Forked paths. Happy?
No.
Free? Closer. Debatable ending. Justice a mosaic. Shards cutting deep. But in the city's hum, that stranger's whisper fades. Act like you're with me. I am. With the ashes, the power, the unquiet dead. Weddings now, I skip them. Send regrets. Sip alone in dive bars where the jukebox plays Springsteen and no one asks names. Family's a swap you can't unmake. Binds. Breaks. Rebirths. And me? Sophie in Emily's skin. Or Emily's ghost wearing me. Hell if I know. But the ring? I pawned it. Diamonds are forever. Revenge? That's the American dream.